Hello and welcome back to Bookmarked Chronicles, and welcome to my worst books of 2022. This is one of my favorite videos to do every year. I'm sure I have a few controversial opinions as per usual, but let's get into it. We're gonna start off with the books that I DNF'd. I actually have the same amount of full books that I actually read and DNFs this year, which is a lot of DNFs for me. The first one was I'm Still Not Over You by Kosoko Jackson. I tried reading this at the very beginning of the year. It was supposed to be my first read of the year. I had an arc. I DNF'd it at 5%. This is a contemporary male-male romance where all we know is that the love interest is good-looking and rich. Call me shallow, but that's not enough for me. And the main character just spends all their time talking about how great this dude is, even though he broke up with him for no apparent reason. Then we have The Wedding Date by Jasmine Guillory. Y'all know that I hate this book, frankly, because I don't need racism in my romance. And there's her following, I think her name is Alexa. She meets this dude in an elevator. He needs a date to his ex's wedding. I DNF this at 22%. Both Kosoko Jackson and Jasmine Guillory are authors that I decided to give a second chance. I will link that video in the cards and in the description. While the second book by Jasmine Guillory was okay, I will never read anything by her again. The second book by Kosoko Jackson was a 5-star read for me though, so I will definitely be reading from him again. Then we have American Royalty. This is a romance that is loosely based off of the relationship between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. I DNF this at 24%. I have a full DNF review of it. Long story short, this is over 500 pages. At the point where I DNF'd, our couple hadn't met each other yet, and there's a sequel, so a lot of shit wasn't even resolved in the first book. No thank you. Then I have The Gender Game, which is available on Kindle Unlimited. It is the first in a YA dystopian series where there's basically two islands, one where a bunch of men live and one where a bunch of women live. What actually is the point, I'm not sure. I DNF'd at 7%. The beginning was very fucking boring, even though I thought the concept of the world sounded kind of interesting. Then I have The Roommate Risk by Talia Hibbert. This was me trying to give Talia Hibbert another chance because I can't seem to finish anything outside of the Brown Sisters series. I don't know what percentage I DNF'd this at because I was listening to the audiobook on Scrid and it skipped chapters multiple times. So I have no idea if I would actually like it, although from what I read, I don't think I would, and I just had no desire to try to reread it. Then we have Sugar Butter Flower Love. This is a pretty short romance. It's available in KU as well. It's about a girl who is a baker. She's in this baking competition and she gets paired up with this, I think, athlete who is also from her hometown, and for whatever reason they hate each other. I tried picking this up while I was coming out of a reading slump, and even though I knew I was in a slump, there were some things about the story that just I did not enjoy, and I just didn't feel like it was worth a try, so I let it go. And then my final DNF was It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. This was the book that I was attempting to read to give Tessa Bailey a second chance after I gave Fix Her Up 2 stars. I DNF'd this at 25%. I hate Piper. I hated the main character, and I don't care. I did like Piper's sister, but I have come to the conclusion that Miss Tessa and I will never be friends, so that's fine with me. Nat had given me the idea to do a drunk series review for the rest of the Hot and Hammered series since I didn't review Fix Her Up, and I was gonna read the next 2 books, but I don't think I can do it. It was a great idea, Nat, but On 2 books that I actually finished this year, starting off with Death by Coffee. This is a cozy mystery that I was trying to read. I hated so much about this book, particularly the main character. I do believe that I have a full review, so I will link it in the cards in the description below. It's the typical, you know, amateur sleuthing, and she ends up dating a cop, but somehow she was convincing this cop to break the law for her and let her investigate things that she didn't have any business in. Plus, she has actually no relation to the person who actually died. It was someone that worked across the street from her. She owns a coffee shop, and she was just nosy as fuck, intrusive as fuck, literally walking into people's stores and asking them super personal questions that she had no business asking. Honestly, if that shit happened in real life, I'm pretty sure she would have gotten her ass beat by somebody, and the fact that that didn't happen was a huge disappointment. Next is The Blind King's Wrath. Unfortunately, I wanted to love this book so much, but I didn't. It is the final book in the Burnt Empire saga. If you'll remember, Upon a Burning Throne was one of my favorite books of 2021, and I was really excited to have an arc of this final book. The author is from India. The book is being translated. It was supposed to be a 9-book series, and I guess the first book just wasn't getting the hype that it deserved, because it deserves. So this third book just felt really rushed, and there were so many moving parts and a lot of things that just didn't really mesh well together. Like, it simultaneously felt too long and too short at the same time. I do have a full review of that series, so I will also have that linked, but this one really hurt me because I was so excited. But you also still read Upon a Burning Throne because it is so good. Next is The Sea Witch by Katie Robert. This is the final book. No, it's not the final book. Next is The Sea Witch by Katie Robert. This is the 5th book in the Wicked Villain series, I think. This book was trash. As far as I'm concerned, that series ends at book 4. This one is a retelling of The Little Mermaid. So it's Ariel, Ursula, and Eric, and their names are Zuriel, Ursa, and Alaric. It doesn't matter. It wasn't good. It was fucking terrible. It's kind of like a repeat of Learn My Lesson, but for no reason. Yeah, it was just fucking stupid. If you're gonna pick up this series, I honestly recommend that you stop after book 4. Then we have My Sister's Serial Killer. This is about a woman whose sister has literally become a serial killer. She keeps dating men and then killing them. Then she starts dating a guy that the sister is interested in, and she is trying to figure out how to stop her sister because she doesn't want this man to end up dead. So Robin warned me that this was more of a character study, I guess, and I guess it's true, but in that same vein, it was boring as fuck. Like, if you're gonna give me a serial killer, give me a serial killer, make it good. I want Criminal Minds level shit, you know? So I just found this boring. I'm not saying don't read it though. I just didn't love it. Then we have Children of Virtue and Vengeance, which I'm sure is not a surprise to anyone because I don't know a single soul that enjoyed this book. Children of Blood and Bone was okay. I will watch the adaptation if it ever comes out. Keyword is if. Apparently the 3rd book will be called Children of Anguish and Anarchy or some shit, which sounds like a terrible fucking ending. There's also rumors that Adeyemi wrote the 1st book with someone else, that's why it was so good, and then she struggled with book 2 because she had to do it herself, and that book 3 is being ghostwritten. So I don't know what the fuck is up. I will not be reading the next one because the 2nd book honestly made no sense. All the characters annoyed me. Everyone was getting on my nerves. Now everyone's bonded to each other in a weird fucking way. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. And I don't care to. If anybody's going to read that 3rd book, please do, and update me as you go because I'm curious, but not enough to suffer through it. Thank you. Next, we have The Other Black Girl. Thank you, Robin. Robin somehow convinced me to read this with her during Black Weenathon. And it was a fucking mistake because we knew it was going to be bad. We just didn't know how bad. I do have a full drunk book review of that, so I will have that linked in the cards and in the description. You know what? I need to talk to that author. I really do. In this, we are following Nella. She is the only Black woman at her publishing company, and then when they finally hire another Black woman, Nella starts receiving threatening letters telling her she needs to leave, to get out, blah, blah, blah. She starts to think that it is the other Black woman who is responsible, and the fucking ending, waste of my fucking time. Don't read that book. And if you read that book and you like it, DM me. We need to have a chat. The final book on my worst of 2022 is Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn. I will not be arguing with anybody. I'm giving it 1.75 stars, and I will have a full review coming, don't you worry. I don't care how much I love Sal. I want nothing more than for somebody to beat his ass, because he deserves it. And you know, I felt that way at first because of how he treated Bree in book 1, but after this, I want somebody to beat Bree's ass too, because she made some choices in this one. She really did. Like I said, full review coming soon. Yeah. Those are all of the books on my worst of 2022. Again, for anything that I have reviewed, I will try to link that in the cards and in the description. Let me know if you've read any of these books and if you feel the same way that I do. Otherwise, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next video.